Yo, people, what's going on? Welcome to Stretford Paddock. I am Adam McCullough. We are here for a brand new show. I was about to say back, we're here for the first time for Max House, where every single week I will be joined by some of my friends to discuss all the latest things Manchester United and have a little chinwag with you guys that are chilling at home, or I don't know what you're doing right now in the evening. Or we know a lot of you guys are from around the world, so whatever time it is, wherever you're watching, let us know in the comments below. Your comments can also shape the show as well. So we'll be discussing your comments. So keep them coming in as we go through the show. But let's introduce our guests. First off, we got a regular on Stretford Paddock and from full-time Devils days, of course, Mr. John Shin, all the way in New York. What's happening, John?
What's going on? What's going on? Well, thank you. I was going to say welcome back. Thank you for having me back.
John, you're muted, bro. So I don't know what's happening with you right now. Like, we just did a test and John was perfectly fine. And now all of a sudden he's disappeared. So I don't know what's going on with John. But Cams is in the house. What's happening, Cams?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me on, bro.
What's going on? Why can't I hear anybody?
I think it's you, bro.
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you. I could hear John as well.
Going on? Is this me?
I think it's just you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Bro, you know what happened? I pressed mute on my laptop thinking it was going to mute the sound that would come out the laptop.
This is Max House for sure.
So they could hear what you guys were saying in it. So, John, welcome to the show. Cams, welcome to the show, my brother. Thank you for joining us. I think this is your first time on Devils/Paddock, right?
Yeah, this is my first time, man. Pleasure. It's a pleasure to be on here.
Yeah, thank you for having us and joining us. And I'm sure everyone reads your tweets, sees your show as well. So they'll be aware of culture cams on the timeline. We've also got Raheem in the house, who is, of course, a regular on the fan cams on Paddock and Devils. What's happening, Raheem? Raheem, my brother, talk to me.
Yeah, not bad. I'm good. I'm upset. I'm the only one in the group that ain't got a haircut, though. Can you hear
John
me?
ain't got a haircut.
No, you kidding me? That is hella long. Look at this. You fucking look like Goldilocks out here.
John's out here longer hair than Kim Kardashian. What's going on?
I think I got longer hair than Joe.
Man, I'm struggling, man. I'm struggling.
It's good to have you over here. We've missed you on here, man. So thank you for
Cams is
joining us.
looking fresh, though.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, bro. Nah, this is just the hat covering it, man. Trust me.
Everyone got their trims up for the first show. So we're here. So obviously, first off, I think we've got to talk about right now is obviously it's international break, so everything's been quiet. And the talk has been mainly about Solskjaer and his new contract. And I was reading today that regardless of his trophies, he's going to get that new deal. Now, to me, it's not a surprise, but I don't like the talk of it now. I think it's a little bit premature in March. But how do you feel when you hear, regardless of trophies, Ollie gets that deal? How does everyone feel with that?
You know, I think I agree with you in the sense that having this, chat coming up in March is not necessarily a good thing, especially given the fact that we haven't really finished out the season. We don't really know where Ole is going to be really graded by the fans and people alike. But I do understand the aspect of why Ole would be awarded awarded a new contract. It just makes sense to, finalize these things. And I almost feel like Manchester United, with this new PR wave that we've been seeing in the past year or so, I almost feel like they might have wanted to do this on purpose and brief the journalists in some sense to try and give this sense that Manchester United fans, I guess, from the perspective of the board, look like they're happy with Ole and look like they're happy with the progression that we've made under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And look, don't get me wrong, I'm happy. I think Manchester United fans can pretty much agree that it's not like 100%, but we've seen progression and we've seen a level of positivity that's been reinstated at Manchester United under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So I'm okay with the idea, but I do understand your point with respect to the whole conversation happening in March, though.
Do you not think a United manager should be judged on trophies, or do you think with the bigger picture is always the most important? Because we have seen like Van Gaal get sacked when he won a trophy.
Right. And I think I don't want to get too negative, but I think what we want to see 100% is Manchester United's standards being judged, being great. Manchester United's players and staff and all staff members related, affiliated with Manchester United. We want to see them graded in the highest of tiers and standards. And of course, for Manchester United, it's trophies. But what we've seen, like you mentioned, under Louis van Gaal, what we also seen under Jose Mourinho is that the toxicities seems to bring much more negativity than the trophy aspect, especially post Sir Alex Ferguson. And of course, don't get me wrong, I would love to see Manchester United lifting a trophy. But what we really seen under Ali, and I think that's the most important thing, is the fact that we've been able to reinstate a certain level of positivity. And I think that's the most important thing, right now at least.
Cams, what you reckon?
Muted. Sorry, my mic was muted.
Now he's muted.
Yeah, I don't think we should be giving him a new deal right now, man. Like, I don't think. I mean, people. I'm not too sure what people measure as progress, but I don't think Man United have progressed. Do you know what I mean? I don't think we've necessarily progressed much, and this is something that we did with Jose Mourinho as well. We gave him a new deal when we deemed it as small progress. And then immediately after that, a couple months later, we gave him the sack. So I don't want, it's like, is history going to repeat itself in that regard? And we kind of prematurely, in my opinion, gave Ollie the job initially anyway, because as soon as he got the job, we went on a historically bad run. So it's like, haven't we learned our lessons from giving out contracts a bit too prematurely? And people might measure it as progress. I get what you mean in terms of there might be progress in terms of like the atmosphere around the club. But really and truly, we've got to 4 semi-finals, lost all of them. FA Cup now, just the other day, lost again. We were meant to be in the Champions. We started this season in the Champions League. Winning the Europa League isn't progress. We started the season in the Champions League. So winning the second tier tournament isn't progress for Man United. I'm not too sure how people can look at it as progress when we didn't walk into this season saying, I want to win the Europa League, did we? So I don't know how that is progress. So for me, I wouldn't give him the new contract yet. I would wait it out and see how it goes. But I guess we're going to go and do it.
Because he's got, I think it's 12 months at the end of this season on the 3-year deal he signed in 2019. So there's still time left on it. Like I kind of see what Cams is saying as well. Like so much can change so quickly in football, like 3 to 6 months, that in 6 months' time we could be looking at things and saying it feels very different, or we see things very differently, especially depending on how the summer goes as well. But I suppose that's kind of out of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's hands. Some would say, and obviously the season's not over, Cams, that going from third to second is some sort of progress. Is that fair?
But I mean, I feel like you see with the season before last season, we got 66 points, and then last season we got 66 points again. But one table we were third, the other table we were sixth. This season, we're sitting in second, but we're not in a title race. And for me, we're 1 point ahead of Leicester, so it's not like we're 10 points clear of Leicester. And for me, it's a freak season for Liverpool, in my opinion, a very freak season. If Liverpool were the Liverpool that we know, I don't believe we've progressed to the level where next season I'm already thinking, okay, one more step and it's the title. I'm already next season straight away thinking, oh God, Liverpool are coming back. Oh man, Tuchel's at Chelsea now, they're coming back. I'm not looking at it as, we're one step ahead of everyone else except for Manchester City. I don't see it like that. I see it as we still got to be looking underneath us, and I don't really deem it as that much progress. Yes, it's a good season in the league. We're doing quite decent, but I don't see it as massive progress for Man United, in all honesty.
Raheem, you dropped out again, bro. You there? Raheem's not there. I don't know what's going on with Raheem. Now, I hear what you're saying. Although I tend to think there has been, like, I do feel like as a fan watching the club, we've progressed. But I think whenever there's been a kind of time where we can hammer that home, whether it's a couple semi-finals, whether it's being in that title race and being in an opportunity to kind of push City all the way, we kind of failed to do that every time. And part of me is scared. Is this a thing that won't be solved with signings? Because I think we need signings. We need a signing at right wing. We need a signing in midfield. We need a signing at centre back. And Ollie can say, look, with those signings, I'll be doing a lot better. But part of me feels like, will we? Because some of the things that I'm seeing at times, the defence being all over the place, like I feel like our signing is going to fix that. Because we thought Maguire was going to come in and solve everything.
Exactly.
All these signings were going to come in and solve everything. So it kind of makes me feel, is it going to be that? John, what do you think? Do you think signings will be the thing that pushes us to the next level? Is there something Ollie needs to change within himself or about himself?
Well, we do know what we know for certain is that there is a certain level of equality that's missing at Manchester United, and bringing in signings is definitely going to strengthen the squad and strengthen all these options. I think what we've seen so far this season is that we've really, truly relied heavily upon the likes of Bruno and Rashford and potentially even Luke Shaw, if you want to throw his name in there. Shout out Steve, by the way. But that's the point. It's like we're still a few signings short of really, really pushing. And I think that's why, and we might maybe discuss this a little later, but I think that's why it's so important that this summer is going to be so crucial for Manchester United in terms of shaping our future for the next 5 years or so, because we're just about there. You know, Cams, when he was talking about progress from third to second with respect to the points gained and whatnot, I do accept that, and I do understand his point. But I also think that with the progression in terms of the positivity being somewhat reinstated and the extra quality that potentially could come in, I think we could really, really push for something serious next season. And I think that's where we really need to judge and gauge where Ollie is in terms of being a manager at Manchester United and where Manchester United actually are with respect to competition around us.
Adam, can I respond to that?
Yeah, go on, Raheem.
John, you've
Yes,
said positivity 10 times now. For me, that shows the difference between positivity or quality of football. Now, for Mourinho, the quality was bad, but the results were good because we won 2 trophies. Whether you like it or not, we won 2 trophies.
Sure.
And for me, he's still the best manager since Ferguson, hands down. You said positivity 10 times. That shows me that with Mourinho, the players were watching BBC News, and now with Ollie, they're watching Netflix. It's happy days now. We're happy. It's happy days. We're watching Netflix and chill. Can you've said positivity, but you've not said quality of football. Are we playing better? Can I ask everyone a question? Are we playing better football now?
I mean, I could answer that straight off the bat. I think we're not playing necessarily better, but we look more positive. And I'm going to say that again because quality, I 100% agree. Quality is not there. I mean, if you guys have seen me on YouTube and shit, I go fucking. I don't know if you can swear on Mac's house, but I don't know if your mom's listening, Mac, but I go absolutely fucking crazy watching Fred in that middle of the park. I go crazy sometimes watching, even. With all due respect, with maybe Scott sometimes, maybe, Daniel James sometimes, Anthony Martial sometimes. I go crazy watching some of these guys do the things that they do. So quality-wise, we're definitely not there. But in terms of positive, I think we're there. If you're looking at, look, I'm a schmuck here in New York. You guys are actually in England, so of course you guys get a little bit more of a first-hand feel as to how the fans there are really feeling. But from what I can see on social media and things like that, the toxicity seems to have washed out just a little bit. I think under Jose Mourinho days.
You following some good people, John.
Maybe that's not the case. Maybe I'm too gullible.
I need to follow you. You follow John.
I'm following you, Adam. What you talking about?
My response to that is that.
Go on.
Look, I missed the first part about is that should Ollie get a new contract and the progression. Look, Look, it's better than where Josie left us. Let's be honest, it is. We're second, fine. Do we deserve to be second? That's a debate, but it is what it is. I'm not going to complain. I'd rather be where we are than Liverpool. But my only question is that we like Cam said, we gave Jose Mourinho a contract in January when he lost the league in December. I don't know why we did that, but we did that, and we sacked him in December of that year. I don't see why we did that. That was a mistake. For me, that I don't know why we had to give Oli a new contract when there was no need to, in my opinion. His job was not under threat. If he got top 4, he was going to be here next year. It's not like Bayern Munich or Real Madrid or Dortmund are going to knock on his door. So let's be honest. I wouldn't have given him the new contract. I would have just seen, you know what? Let's see how you do in your last year. If we back you, if you get 6th, all right, bye. If you get top 4 again, let's see. Let's look at it in context. But I don't think he should have gotten another contract. Personally.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement, man. And with what you're saying, Adam, in terms of you're saying basically like we need signings, which is correct. But are we forgetting Oli spent the 85 million on Maguire? Yeah, who now we need another centre half to go next to him.
Cam, before
Man United. Yeah, go on, bro.
Before sorry to interrupt, we spent 85 on Maguire, and McFred needs to cover Maguire and Lindelof. Can you imagine that?
Exactly, and so he spent the 85 million on Maguire. United want to be a team that build out from the back, but we signed Wan-Bissaka, who clearly hasn't got much technical ability. So straight away there, people are saying, oh, so we need some fullbacks that are good on the ball. Dan James, I think we're all in agreement, was a interesting signing. Bruno, okay, that's a signing that worked out, I guess. Van der Beek, a signing. I haven't seen him all season. Van Dijk has played more minutes than him. So the rotation there is very interesting in that regard as well. Who else? Tellez, not really a feature. Cavani, he's just been here for the ride. So many of the signings, do you trust Oli now? If you were the board, well, the board clearly do, but do you, Adam, think that if Man United were to give Oli another 150 million, 250 million, we will spend that wisely in the market and become a much better team next season?
If we had 150 million, I guarantee you Oli would spend half of that on Declan Rice and half of that on who else? Who else is English? On I don't know. I don't trust Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with money. Who?
Ben White and Nathan.
The thing with the Cavani and that, like, I truly believe he would have wanted, say, Erling Haaland. I truly believe with Donny van der Beek, he probably wanted Jack Grealish. So with the signings thing, I kind of think who are making these signings and the criticism a lot of with the signings and the way our transfer windows goes for every manager is above the manager. But I tend to agree with the issues at the back haven't been solved. Does a DM solve that? I don't know. But I think the problems with Oli are beyond the signings, if there are any, or the reasons why I maybe wouldn't give him the contract now and wait 6 to 10 months to make that decision. Because when we need to win games, we don't. And I think that is the biggest issue for me. Like, when we have to win matches, we don't. Is that a problem with the team, with the manager? Is signings going to solve that? I don't know. That's why I'd back him this summer and wait with the contract. But the club aren't going to do that.
I'm also in agreement. You know, I'm not trying to say that Manchester United were 110% correct in giving Oli this new contract in the middle of the season. I'm not saying that I agree with that. What I do agree with is in the sense that we've still had lots of problems in this side. You know, we've brought Lukaku, we've brought Zlatan, we brought Pogba, but there was so many holes and gaps in this side that it wasn't just going to be solved overnight. I mean, we still have problems in this side. You know, with all due respect to Phil Jones, this man is still collecting checks. He's ready for a testimonial. I've not seen him play since my hair was this short. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen so many problems in this side that still needs fixing. So don't get me wrong. You know, all these, it's nowhere near perfect. What we need to see is a clear level of conviction from the Manchester United board. Are they going to really back him? like Adam said, we're not even sure if Maguire was an Ollie signing. We weren't even sure if Luke Shaw was a Van Gaal signing. We weren't even sure if Lukaku. Nobody knows with respect to signings. I think what's more important is that we back him properly, and then we can judge him to the fullest extent once we've really fully backed him.
John, I can't accept. My friend is an Arsenal fan, and he tries to convince me that Maguire wasn't an Ollie signing. I don't believe that. I don't believe that whatsoever.
He was, I think.
He definitely wasn't Ollie signing. You're not going to convince me that Ed Woodward, Mr. El Clasico or Galactico, said, Ollie, you're going to get Maguire, and I'm going to spend the world record for you on Maguire. Not Koulibaly, not Manolas, not Jonathan Tah, not Varane, but I'm going to spend it on Harry Maguire from Sheffield. Come on, man. Come on. No, that is clearly an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer signing. And for me, the most damning part is that fact that we had to spend a world record fee, 85 mil, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as a football man, didn't say, you know what? Nah, this is fake Gucci. Nah. Come on. Think. I would not be surprised if Ed Woodward made that negotiation because he's a clown. Let's be honest, he's a clown. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a football man. He should know when he's being conned. Come on. He should know. But it is what it is. I don't understand. I'm going to keep it short. I don't try. Even look, the board did back Ole. Let's be honest. He has been backed. He spent almost 300 million in 2 years. Come on. It's not like this is Daniel Levy and Pochettino. 18 months no signing. He's been backed. Fair enough. And I give Ole credit. He got out all the Deadwood, Sanchez, Leong. Fair enough. But my only issue with Ole is he's doing more mistakes than he's getting things right, in my opinion. And for that, I can't let it slide. I just can't let it slide.
I think with what Raheem's saying, I get what he's saying as well, and I get what John is saying in terms of like is there's confusions as to who's the signings, who's making these signings, for example. So I do understand that, but to move away from that, because we all know there's an issue with the board. We all know about the Glazers. We all know about Ed Woodward, and we know that's obviously why they've brought in Fletcher now, and that John Murtaugh, I think it is. They brought him in to probably try and steady that up and make things a bit more easier. Try and get people that are men in that position. But I like to look at it on the playing field. You know what I mean? Like we can't handle anything like that. But on the pitch is what we can look at. And on the pitch, do people see Manchester United as a team that are playing progressive football, playing attacking football, entertaining football? Do you guys see that? Because the same things that, Jose got chased out for, the same things that LVG got chased out for, which he won a trophy as well. They both won trophies. I feel like we know, because Ollie's got that legend status and Ollie's, as John says, has that positivity about him, we kind of ignore it. There's many times I'm watching Man United and I'm bored and I'm just waiting for, all right, when's Bruno going to go and save us? Or when's Rashford going to go and do something to win us the game? I don't look at Manchester United and think, oh yeah, do you know what? Chances are being created. And these are backed by stats as well. The amount of touches that we have in the box, the amount of chances that we let to other teams. It's when I look at it, I don't really see anything that makes me excited to go and watch Manchester United. That's just how I see it. So I look at it on the playing field. I understand with the Woodward thing, but on the pitch, I don't really see us playing exciting, entertaining football in any way, personally.
And then to add on that,
I think there's a lack of consistency with the football that we've been playing. But I do think since Jose, or definitely the last 12 months of Jose, we're a better team. I think Ali's improved us, and I think I still have the same doubts I had when he took the job. Mm-hmm. Like, is he going to bring home the bacon? Is he going to bring home the big trophies? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I do think he's improved us. Mm-hmm. I think there's still question marks over some of the football sometimes. And I think with what we've had, we definitely could have and should have done better at certain periods. But I do think, like Raheem said earlier, there's been more negative than bad. I kind of disagree with that. I kind of disagree with that personally.
Yeah, you guys don't remember Louis Van Gaal days? My goodness, Ander Herrera having to force that he takes a half touch, beautiful, looking for options, and then has to turn back, static, pass the fucking ball back to Antonio Valencia, who all he does is fucking keep his head down and run straight and look for a low drive cross week in, week out. I don't know, man. I just feel like we should be a little bit more happy. I feel like there is a sign of positivity, and I feel like there is progression. Man, whatever you qualify it to be.
I am not comparing this football to Van Gaal. Trust me, I fell asleep at one game, and now that pissed me off. I actually fell asleep watching a Champions League match. Never before. That was against CSKA Moscow. That has never happened before. I'm not comparing. This football is not as bad as Louis Van Gaal. In my opinion, I agree with Cams. Like the football is not great. Let's be honest. And who's in this coaching stuff?
All right, Raheem. Let me bring this question to you. We've won 9-0, 6-2, and 5-0 this season.
Oh, please, against Leeds United. Leeds United, who opened their legs, and against 9 men. Come on, man. Come on. And who did we win? Who did we beat 5-0? Leipzig.
Yeah.
And then they knocked us out, and then they knocked us out. Let's be honest. So that was vengeance. No, it was a fluke. Adam,
it's not a fluke. It's not a fluke. That's on.
No, it's a fluke. Man.
I definitely think there is more. There's definitely more freedom for our attacking players under Oli than there was under Jose Mourinho. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
Some of the players are allowed to play with a bit more off the cuff than they were under Jose Mourinho. So some of these kind of wins can happen. Not saying that the football is worse than Jose Mourinho's, but at the same time, just like what Raheem said, okay, we won 5-0, that is sick. But then when it really matters, we lost. You know what I mean? When it really matters, as you said, Adam, earlier, when it gets to the real pressure moments and the real time to show ourselves as a football club, we lose them games. So is it all on the players, or are we ever going to say, do you know what, the manager, we have to look at the manager as well? Because all the high pressure moments, we can talk about beating Manchester City and stuff, but one of them wins that we've got against City, that great results, that great Oli record that he has against Pep, one of them was an away win in the Carling Cup, and we still went out anyway.
Exactly.
In the final. So
it was done.
Are these results? I'm talking about the high leverage moment. I'm not talking about top 6 results, which we're not even doing great at this season, but I'm just talking about the high leverage moments. I feel like we always seem to never get over that edge. And that is at some point going to be indictment towards the manager, or are we just going to say is everything on the players? I think that's a wrong thing to do. Okay, is City not a high pressure moment? Of course, playing Manchester City is a big game. But do I think when we played Manchester City in the cup, we went out? When we played them in the cup, we went out. When we played them in the league, okay, we got a win. Was it last season? We got a win at Old Trafford, I believe it was, with McTominay, that McTominay game. But it didn't take us anywhere. These things aren't taking us anywhere. When it really matters, the games that I see as high leverage moments are games like when Man City finally went top of the league, Man United are playing Sheffield United at home. Go and win that game so we can continue to stay at top of the league and keep the pressure up. We lose. You know what I mean? Those are high leverage games. We can sit there and say big 6, top 6, those are the big games, but it's not. In a season, high leverage moments come, it could be against any team. And we seem to fail at the final hurdle all the time.
I'm in the middle between, I'm not as negative as you, but I'm not as positive as John. I'm somewhere in the middle, and that's why I think we should take time. One of the things I wanted to talk about earlier, we mentioned Donny van der Beek. There's been links with him leaving the club. Now, would you be disappointed to see Donny van der Beek leave Manchester United this summer?
Yes. Very much so, because I rate him highly, especially on career mode.
You're not allowed to say that on here, man. You're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to refer to FIFA, bro.
In all seriousness, I do rate Donny van der Beek highly. I rate very much almost anyone who comes from an IS academy highly, because they are technically gifted, especially when we have a fake Brazilian, aka Nigerian, called Fred in our midfield.
Chill, Nigerians, they Ghanaian or something, bro.
No. I'm representing Ghana, fam. World Cup quarterfinal, still the record. No, but no seriousness. Like I rate Donny van der Beek highly. He is a quality player, And the fact that he's played less games is than Van Dijk is damaging to the manager. Come on, give the guy a chance.
Less
minutes.
Yeah.
Less minutes. Than a guy who got injured in October. Come on, man. It's not fair.
Yeah, it's a strange one though, because obviously he's like he's never looked fit, but then at the same time he came without a preseason. I think the Eredivisie finished in March, and like he came in July, and he's never been given a chance really of running the team. There's been games where he don't look fit, but then for me, there's been games where he looks like a guy that's really neat on the ball, good in the opposition's box, keeps things ticking over. I've really liked him. I think, was it the Liverpool game? I thought he played all right. Like, it's been a weird one, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him leave because of the fact that it doesn't. The only explanation I've got is Ollie doesn't fancy him. Like, that's the only explanation I've got. And if that's the case, then he's probably going to leave. But
I think that'd be
like to see him turn it around. Go on,
I think it'll be disappointing to see him leave. The thing about Ajax, like when you look at Ajax players, Ajax play in a very specific system and in a very specific way. And if you come from the Ajax academy, we know it's very much one touch, two touch. It's very much a certain way of playing. A lot of the players, like you got to look at it historically, a lot of the players that have left Ajax have actually struggled in their first season. Ziyech, are we forgetting what Ziyech is doing right now? Frankie de Jong went to Barcelona and didn't have it easy. De Ligt was being called a flop of the season over in Italy. Christian Eriksen didn't come to Tottenham and kick it off straight away to the player that we know he become. So for me, he needs to just hopefully stay put. I do think Ollie is not using him enough. He definitely should be playing a little bit more, but he needs to stay put. And I think he'll come back stronger next season. Hopefully this works for him, and hopefully he's mentally tough enough to just be like, you know what? All right, this season it wasn't working for me, and I'm gonna go again next season. That's all I can really say. But I definitely think he has been underused. But at the same time, it does take I think I'll say it takes about a year for Ajax players to settle into other systems. It's a really unique system that they got going on over there, man. It's not easy just to come from there to Manchester United into the Premier League. So hopefully he stays next season and we can get the best out of him, man.
It's interesting. I never really thought of it that way. Obviously, you think of the change in league and all that, but you never really think of how Ajax players that are so coached, like it's almost robotic with them, like to then come into the Premier League where it's a bit more reliant on physical strength and all that. It's an interesting side of it. John, what you reckon of Donny van de Beek, bro?
I think it's sad. When we first saw him, feature in the earlier stages of the season, linking up with Juan Matai. If Raheem's gonna get upset about positivity, I don't know if he's gonna get upset about this, but I used to use footballing IQ. I use that word quite often when I describe Donny van de Beek. You could see that he's a player that really has that high level of footballing intelligence about him. But I think as much as we all want to see Donny feature more, and as much as we all feel like and understand that he has the quality to play, there definitely is something behind the scenes that we're not really too sure of what's going on. Somebody on the show today was saying something about how maybe Ollie doesn't really rate Donny van de Beek. I'm not sure exactly what's going on behind the scenes, but what I do know for certain is that he is a quality player and he has the potential. I think this season was his season to kind of understand. I think Cams had a fantastic point about the whole Ajax squad when they got dismantled and went their separate ways. All had a tough time. Donny van de Beek's just also having a tough time and a part of his career where he needs to understand how to take the chances that he has, how to understand to play in the Prem, how to understand to play under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but also Ollie also has the responsibility to get the best out of Donny van de Beek. Don't get me wrong. Both parties have their responsibility. I just don't feel like it's this season right now. I would be very sad if he does leave. I would love to see him stay. But if he does stay, which I think he will, I think next season will be Donny's real season. I think he's got to first identify what his strengths are, what his weaknesses are. Where is he supposed to play? Is he supposed to play in the 6? Is he supposed to play in the 10? I think one of the reasons why we've not really seen him feature quite often in this season is because probably Ollie fancies Donny in that 10 role or in that attacking midfield role, the same position that Bruno occupies. And Bruno is that first name on that team sheet. You're not taking him off the team sheet. And I think that's one of the reasons as to why we've not really been able to see Donny feature as much as we would have liked. But I still think we can get the best out of him. I still think that's Ollie's job for next season. And I think Donny's job next season is to figure out how to get himself in this team.
I think the preseason is going to be so important as well. Like
100%.
Turnover games mustn't out. One of the things with Donny that I want to see more of him is in the final third with us. More so this season than last season. So I do think we're capable of doing it under Ali. But this season, especially in the last 4 months, like we seem so. It's like Cam's mentioned it earlier. If Bruno or Rashford don't do something, and because of that mentality, and I think it comes from the midfield are rubbish with possession, especially when Pogba was out. So they can't bring the ball forward. When the ball does get forward, Greenwood is very 2, 3, 4 step overs. Can I shoot on my left or my right? Rashford's become the same kind of player. And Bruno often looks to shoot. I know his assist stats are very high, but he often looks to shoot. And we become a team that don't play the 1-2s anymore. And when we play with Donny van der Beek, he almost looks lost sometimes because he's dropping into pockets and no one's looking to pass to him there.
Exactly.
And don't get chances. If you play someone like Donny van der Beek more, who can make those runs into the box and he loves making those runs into the box but wide so he can just get the cutback. And I think our strikers will just have so many more chances if he's in the team.
Who have we seen Donny look the brightest in the attacking third? It's players like Juan Mata. Juan Mata is a player way past his prime. We all love Juan to death, but he's a player way past his prime. But that IQ is still there. That man's Einstein on the ball still. And when he links up with Donny, especially what we've seen at times earlier on in the season, we can see the quality that they have, the understanding, the awareness, the intelligence, both on and off the ball. Like you mentioned, Adam, moving into pockets of spaces, trying to break through the compact defenses. I think Donny just needs time. I still think we need more quality players around him, and I think that we might be able to see a better side of Donny and, quite frankly, a better Manchester United once we maybe make a stronger move in the transfer window.
Right, before we go to take the trash out, we're going to go one of two ways. So we got Safia's comment, which is De Gea and Henderson, and we got Pedder's comment, which is, when are we going to talk about Anthony Martial? Now, I speak about Anthony Martial all the time,
God.
Use that can pick Martial or the goalkeepers.
It's up to you guys.
Martial.
It's your house, Mac. You can pick.
Martial, I'll go Martial.
I'm not coming in your house and opening your fridge, man. You pick.
Raheem's done that. Go on, Raheem. What's going on with Anthony Martial, bro?
I don't know. I don't know. After the player what I saw last year, I thought, yes, finally, I've been vindicated. My boy is now going to start becoming the striker I know him to be. And then to this, I'm thinking like, big man, nah. Like, honestly, this is such a drop-off in form, confidence. Look, to be fair, we don't create enough chances. And that's, again, goes back to the manager and how we've been coached. And again, we have people like Michael Carrick and Mike Phelan and who else? And Kieran McKenna coaching these players. So that goes back to the manager. But again, with Anthony Martial, sometimes he just drifts out of the game. And I know I'm not going to say it's an attitude problem, but just be a Wayne Rooney and just go for the ball. Go for the ball. Make yourself available. Be hungry. Because honestly, I'm at the point where, as much as I love you, Marshall, I love United more, and I'm not afraid to say it. If you don't fix up, I'll take the 9 away from you. Harry Kane's available. Harry Kane's available. Sorry, big man. Go to the wing. Be a winger. Be Thierry Henry. But honestly, when it comes to Anthony Martial, I have no idea what's wrong. I think it's 50% coaching and 50% his own fault. Honestly, because he has been poor this year. Yeah,
I think you can't look all towards Oli when it comes to Martial this season. He's having a bad season, and it's for me. I think it's one of those situations where I haven't always seen Martial as a number 9 for Man United going forward if we want to win titles and stuff. But this season he is having a bad year. 50% of it, as you said, it can come down to coaching, because we can't forget Greenwood's not scoring goals. Martial's not scoring goals. Cavani's not really scoring goals either. The only people that are really scoring goals are Rashford, and he's even going through a little bit of a dry spell. So Rashford and Bruno. So at the same time, I think a lot of it I think a lot of it can go both ways. I don't think Martial is doing good enough at the moment, because usually at least the one thing that we can say about Martial is that his finishing percentage is actually quite decent. He's actually, I think, last season and usually when chances fall to Martial, he's quite clinical. This season, he hasn't been that. When the chances do fall to him, he hasn't been that clinical. But we don't create enough chances as a whole and as a team. If you look at Mo Salah, not Harry Kane, because he's a very clinical player. If you look at Mo Salah, Raheem Sterling, and all these players that are on the top of the goal scoring charts, they get quite a lot of chances. And it's no surprise that they're always at the top of the big chances missed. Most chances missed. It's always the top goal scorers. But with us, it's kind of like we get 1 or 2 chances in a game, you have to take it. And if you don't, these are the numbers that you're going to end up putting down. You know what I mean? And I just think he's not having a bad year, but at the same time, I don't think we're putting our team and our players in the best position to score goals. Because Cavani, when he's come in, his best games has actually been when he's come off the bench. When he's come off the bench, he's been good. So kind of just like, come make some difference. But when he started, he does look a bit isolated, man. Cavani looks really isolated. And the only thing that we end up praising him for is how hard he's working. He's running, he's chasing down, he's pressing. But we didn't sign a 34-year-old Cavani for that. We signed a 34-year-old Cavani to score goals. And he scored, about 5-6 goals this season? He's not getting chances that much as well. So as much as people will say Martial's not doing great, I've seen Greenwood go number 9, not do great. I've seen Martial go number 9, not do great. I've seen Cavani do it and I've seen Rashford do it. So I think there is a bigger issue, but that can't take away the fact that Martial just hasn't really been himself this season.
Do you, in a word, because I want to move on in a sec, do you think, and I'll come to you, John, for your opinion as well, do you think he'll be here next season, despite the rumours?
Yes.
I think he'll still be here, yeah. I still think he'll be here. And we should keep him, man. You shouldn't sell him.
Go on, John, what do you reckon? What's the deal with Tony?
I think Cams has put it pretty straight. I think there is a certain level of pressure that's being put on Anthony Martial simply because of the fact that he's a striker. But for me, people who do hear me and people who do see my content, I scream strongly on holding 2 positions at Manchester United in the highest regard. 1, it's the captain's position, and 2, it's the striker's position. Raheem mentioned Martial needs to be more like Wayne Rooney. I think that's kind of difficult to say, but I think one of the reasons as to why Martial isn't as respected or appreciated as a 9, which I think, and I criticize Anthony Martial quite heavily. Those of you guys watching, you guys may know, but I think it's difficult to say that Anthony Martial could be the 9 or could play the striker's role, because I simply just think he lacks the multi-dimensional aspect that comes with playing as a striker. Lots of the times when you see Anthony Martial get in positions, it's when he's building up his own movement and he's building up his own play coming off the left. He doesn't really come down the middle. There isn't a level of dynamism, multi-dimensional aspect. Sometimes he needs to tuck in. Sometimes he needs to be in certain spaces. The thing that Manchester United fans liked so much about Cavani coming in, and this is where I'll disagree with Cams a little bit. It's not just the industry aspect. He's 100% spot on about bringing in a 34-year-old. We didn't bring him on to press the high line. We didn't bring him on for that. What we brought him on was to show the awareness, the understanding, the level of quality that comes with playing as a 9. It's not just about freaking elastico and freaking doing step overs and beating players. It's not just about, being in the box and, looking for poaching headers. It's all of the above. It's not the striker's job is such a tough job. If you get one chance, you got to make that one shot, one kill. Anthony Martial is rarely in the right positions. He's rarely, looking encouraging. He needs to add more dimensions to his game, and he hasn't been able to do that. And I think that's one of the reasons why we hold him, hanging a bit and pressure him a bit. And I think that's one of the reasons as to why I just don't think that he could be the 9 for us going forward.
Yeah, I think that as well. Like, I don't think he's, with what you're saying about his movement and stuff, is exactly why I have never really said I think he's a number 9 going forward. But one thing we do know is that Martial has quality. He has quality. So anyone that wants to, United are a low quality team, and we've just been saying, really, we need more quality. Selling him doesn't make sense. When we've sold players, they've all gone off and done well. I guarantee if we sell Martial, I'm not saying he's gonna go and be a world beater and he's gonna now all of a sudden be a Ballon d'Or candidate, but he's gonna probably go and shine. We called Lukaku terrible all for 3 years or 2 years, and he's gone and he's about to go win Inter Milan the title, and he's looking unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? And we've done it. We got rid of Memphis, we got rid of Di Maria, we got rid of all these players that have gone on and had great careers after Man United. Getting rid of Martial is not it. I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do that either.
I agree.
But fellas, are we ignoring the elephant in the room? Can I just ask all of you a question?
Go ahead.
Is Martial leaving a striker? Should we just answer that question?
I don't know if he is. I don't know.
See, the fact that you just said you don't even know.
As number 9, he's played 3 seasons as number 9. His first season, he was our top goal scorer.
But he was.
He's our top goal scorer, and this season has been shit.
Because personally, I agree with John said that. I fear Martial on the wing more than as in the box.
I think he's probably best out in the left, especially in this team, on the left of a front three. But Rashford's there.
Yeah, he can be on the bench. I want strength and depth.
I think that's true as well. Like, people talk about Haaland and all that stuff coming to United, and even if that happens with Cavani looking, like, Cavani's not going to be here in 12 months whether he stays or goes this summer. Like, getting Haaland or not shouldn't mean you have to sell Martial. Like, you should be looking to have strength and depth in that position. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have come to the end of the show. We got one more thing to do, which is taking the trash out. This is type of like the Room 101, the Donkey of the Day feature on this show, which we'll be doing every single week. So you're taking the trash out. What has to go this week? A person could be Ollie's new contract. It could be the rumors about a certain player. I don't know. I seen Paulins talking about Sergio Aguero this week. What has to go? What are you putting in the trash this week? Let's go to John, seeing as we're calling it trash, which is very American.
I was thinking, like, who do I want to put in the trash? And just before I came on the show, I was looking through Twitter and I saw a video that Jose Mourinho posted up. It was like an interview, and he said something about how he loves his fans and how he loves, and I think he labeled them the Mourinistas. And don't get me wrong, I love Jose Mourinho.
Not you, Raheem.
Honestly, this man, I hope he never leaves this league. He's too much comedy. He's entertainment.
Right. And I think, I love Jose Mourinho from an entertainment factor perspective. But when he said Mourinistas, I was like, oh my God, somebody take their dad off of social media or something, because that's a problem. Fucking Mourinistas, yikes. But if there's anything I throw in the trash, it'd be that video.
Does it have to be United related?
It don't have to be.
I would throw AD Boothroyd, England under 21 manager how he survived another. England under 21s didn't get out of the World Cup group stages, and again now we started this tournament and lost, playing 5 at the back
lost their easiest game as well.
Yes, bruv. Playing under 20, playing 5 at the back and under 21s, and in losing, mate. I'm just hopefully it's not another terrible tournament, man. But I think that is somebody that I'll throw in the bin. I don't know how he still got that England 21 job, but I'm sure some people will say back him too. You know what I mean? So I ain't gonna say too much about that.
No, Boothroyd's a strange one because his record has been abysmal. And that the England under 21s have, for me, historically been better to watch than the first team. Like, I remember watching one tournament against Holland where it was 16-15 on pens and that. Like, their team has always been good to watch, and Boothroyd has ruined it over the years. Like, I agree with that. Raheem, what are you throwing in the bin?
Oh, it's Fred. Simple as. Give me 20 mil, please. Someone buy him. Honestly.
You get 20 mil for Fred nowadays?
Adam, I swear down, I'll put out 20 mil and I don't know, something else, a free car. I don't care. He has to go. He's honestly, Fred has been there for 3 years. We were conned. Honestly, Man City are a G. Man City are they conned us. They conned us. Maguire, Sanchez, Fred. I'm telling you,
Fred.
We've conned us, honestly. So Fred has to be Fred.
Fred is at one point he actually built quite a lot of fans. To be honest, at one point I think a lot of fans started to appreciate him, but he's just gone back to. He's just I don't know I don't know what it is with. I don't know, man. I can't even explain it with Fred. Like
it's when you have the expectation of him to do well.
Man.
It's the expectation that kills you.
And you think, nah, he's not actually very good because he only does well in 2 games a season, which is against City.
Oh my god,
he's like he comes on like exactly. But when Fred is good, he's like unbelievable, isn't it? Like when he's good, you're like, wow, Fred is all over the pitch, he's everywhere, and it makes you think, like, you know what, I'm gonna keep on to him. But then he just goes back to this, I don't know, man, just this average player, man, and it's just no way United can be building around him. Him and McTominay is playing in that like double pivot. It's holding Man United back a lot, man. It's holding us back massively.
That's what we need to throw in the bin, innit, for next season.
Yeah,
that double pivot. Jeez, we just need a number 6, just a one half, not even a world class number, a half decent number 6.
Adam,
just a bang average number 6. Just give me, just I don't know. Just
Adam, I can name you 2 right now. Frank Kessie from AC Milan, 1 year left on his contract. Dennis Zakaria, 1 year left on his contract. But guess who we'll get? We'll go for the English guy. The extra 70 mil. The nice red passport.
I'd take Declan Rice here, but the price would be nuts.
Adam, if we spend 70 mil on Declan Rice, that would be 150 mil between both him and Maguire. I want my league. He has to win the league. I'm sorry. No excuses now. You can't be breaking records for his positions.
That'd be 200 mil on Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, and Declan Rice. Jesus. On that note,
are United even linked with that many defensive midfielders? I feel like the Declan Rice thing is a lot of fan talk. I think it's a lot of us, suggesting it. When you look in the media, there's not really much links with the number 6. I honestly think United are happy with Fred, McTom, and the Matic option. Don't forget, we gave Matic a new deal. You know what I mean? So we might just want to see him run that down and then go from there. I would take Rice, I'll take Basuma, I'll take Douglas Luiz, all these names, but I don't really think we're really that linked with it. I'll be surprised if we sign one this summer, man. I'll be very surprised.
Wait, quick question to all of you. Quick question. How many signings are you making this summer? Honestly, deep down in your heart of hearts.
2.
I'm gonna be. I think we're gonna make 3. But
I feel like we're three player limit, innit? Ain't that like our? I mean, I hope. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I'm seeing like already kind of like Harry Kane will stay put. Haaland. We're gonna keep Martial. Haaland isn't really gonna be like an option because they've slapped 180 million price tag. I'm seeing like alternate options for Sancho. You know what I mean? Now, like, because they want to still uphold that 108 million price tag. So it's looking like a lot of plan B, plan C signings potentially that's going to go and take place again, man. It's going to be tough, man. I'm going to say 3 at the absolute maximum, absolute max 3.
But this is when a quality scouting network will find these gems, which no one else knows. Like Frank Kissier played us off the ballpark.
Nah, bro, but whenever we have these chances, you always find out United could have got X, Y, Z when he cost 10 million, but we thought, nah. We always hear them things because we don't look to sign someone if
when was the last person that we could have signed? When was the last guy that cost like less than 50 mil we could have signed?
There was Tielemans.
Oh, Cams, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you, Tielemans.
He actually said I was waiting for United to give me that call. Like I was literally waiting, and then we just didn't take the option up.
No, and guess who Solskjaer wanted to sign? Sean Longstaff. Right? There you go.
I don't think. Come on, man. If you offer someone Tielemans or Longstaff, no one in their right mind says.
Are you serious, Adam? Are you being serious? I'm not surprised anymore with this board.
The board. I don't think Ali would make that choice. Though. Come on, bro.
No,
sorry. Come on.
Nah, man. Ever since he said I want to keep the traditions young and British. When he said that, so no. He wants that British part. He wants British players.
But he's also signed Bruno and Tellez, and come on, man.
He signed Bruno because he had no choice.
I get. There's room to criticize it, but
no. Adam. No. As much as I want to be fair to Ollie, but I'm gonna be very, very.
But you're being unfair to him right now.
For sure.
You could criticize him without criticizing.
I've said he can stay.
Bro. Facundo Pellistri. Come on, man.
Oh God, for little Pellistri, who the hell was this guy from? No one knew his name, bro. 10 mil.
Yeah, but like
10 mil for
English,
who?
bro.
Yeah, he will never play for United. That's the thing. He'll never play.
Raheem,
I'll be fair to Ollie. He can stay one more year. He got us second, so he can stay. But I'm sorry, but bro. Like last year,
we haven't got second yet as well, by the way.
Yeah, it's not confirmed.
We're gonna finish third or fourth.
Oh man. We'll get top four. Look, we'll definitely get top four. I hope so. So he can stay. I'm being fair right there. But I'm not going to give you credit for signing Bruno Fernandes when, let's be honest, you should have gotten him the summer before. And you only signed him.
It's not him that makes that decision to
Mate, you signed 85 from Maguire. Fuck, leave the 80 mil and go get Bruno. Come on, man.
Wait, hold on. Bro. Adam,
nah,
I know you're trying to wrap up, but I just want to say on the record, we're in Mac's house, but I don't agree with the whole Maguire talk. I criticize Maguire quite often, but I think we also have to make sure that out of us four, at least one of us is showing love to him a bit. I think he's out for an 80 mil player.
I think he's played well recently, but he'll never be worth 80 million.
Regardless of what you think his price tag is or what his valuation is, when was the last time we've had a consistent center back play week in, week out for us? I mean, all of our center back has had glass ankles the past few seasons. So in that respect, I do think we need to show him a bit of respect and show him a bit of love. I'm not saying he's quality, but I'm not saying he's the world beater, but I think we still need to show him a little bit of love because in the comment section, people say, Raheem, you scare me. I'm kind of getting trauma. I feel like I'm looking up my dad's about to
you know what? At the start of the season, Maguire was a shambles, and I think he's turned it around, and I think he deserves credit for that.
Maguire doesn't get praised when Maguire plays well. He doesn't get the praise in it. Everyone will wait for a still image or something when he's not looking, and I don't know, the ball goes in or whatever. So when he plays well, he doesn't get praised. But it's one of those ones where you just don't want to. I feel like it's become a thing where you get people that hate Maguire so much, and you get people that defend him so much. So anything that he does well, you get a set of people that will make it out like, yes, this is the reason why he's that much money. And then anything that he does bad, it's like, oh, this is the worst signing of all time. I feel like there's no middle ground when it comes to Maguire. I saw people putting him in the worst 11 of the season. I'm like, that's totally over the top. Do you know what I mean? Massively over the top. So I think there's just no middle ground when it comes to Maguire.
I think it's because he doesn't look comfortable on the ball either. He doesn't look great on the eye.
He's played more games than everyone in world football. Literally, more games than everyone in world football. He hasn't had no rest or anything like that. So, I mean, if we're going to use tiredness as an excuse for other people, then I guess sometimes you got to look at it and think, couldn't he potentially be suffering from tiredness as well? So, yeah, man.
You know what? You guys are fair. I'm being a bit too harsh. Yeah, all right, fine.
No, I've broken Raheem. Let's go. I've broken him. That's what I'm talking about.
I still don't like him, though. I still don't like him, though. I still like him.
Positivity. That's what I'm talking about.
Were you in Greece in the summer or something, Raheem? What's going on? We need to get to the bottom of that. Yo, thank you very much for joining me on Mac's House for the first Mac's House. John, where can the people find you? Let them know.
No, you guys can come check my YouTube channel. I think the link is going to be in the description below. I've switched out from John Shin to August John, so you guys can come check me out. I just want to say real quick, all of you in the comment section showing all the love to Adam, myself, and the cast here. Thank you all so much, Eric, Ross, all you guys, Disciple, all of you guys, Rapids. We see all of y'all. Keep joining us, Mac's House. We'll be here every Friday. Come join us.
It's Culture Cams. You can get me on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Listen, just because I don't think it's the right direction of Ollie. We all love the club. We all want money. So listen, I ain't no anti-United, and I will be at Old Trafford, and I will continue supporting the club no matter what. So yeah, man, you can find me on all platforms, Culture Cams, and yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Cheers for joining us. We'll get you back on soon. Raheem, where can the people find you? You're going to be on here more, I know that, but where can because I don't even know where you are on Twitter and that.
Yeah, I don't have to. I'm not big on social media. I'm not big on social
You're
media.
going to only find Raheem here.
Nah, but you can follow me on Instagram on what? DM11_10. Simple.
I need y'all to DM Raheem right now. Positivity. DM it to him right now. Get on it. Positivity. Do it. And tell him John sent you.
Netflix and chill. Yay.
Thank you to the boys for joining me. It's been a pleasure. See you later, man.